Switch the page. The map for this. All right. A little story, and then we'll do our recap, and then we will jump into things. From the journal of Jaland to nephew to Adras, king of Jaland, dated 11/4/52, third, and 9th degree of the platinum season. Finally, our path forward has condensed. Our new friend Moby told us of a secret and rather unique skyland here in the kingdom of Pyrus. A skyland not made of rock, but made of plants, all interwoven together. Plants of a type that Jeb has been spending so much time with, the alvar. A species of plant that can move, and, if the stories are true, are capable of conscious thought. However, they only display this sentience when bonded or grafted to a host, forming a sort of symbiotic relationship that develops over time with patience, practice. The strongest yokai warriors are permitted to travel to this sacred skyland to seek out the alvier, a primordial alvar tree, similar to the Kirin spirit that grows, similar to the Kirin spirits of the springs. The spirit grows alvar weapons. Fortunately for us, Jirobi has proven his prowess and honor by besting Kowajai while only wielding a Bakken blade. No magic artifacts, royal galactic enchantments, or even divine sortileges during their latest duel. Sword Saint tradition must be upheld if we are permitted to travel to the forest of the Alvier. Therefore, my brothers and I will embark on this journey with but a single item each. Naturally, Jirobi wields his Bakken blade. Jeb travels with a simple Alvar quarterstaff, ungrafted, lacking sentience, but as durable as steel. My brothers mock my choice. If it was a gift from a Kirinkin, Commodius. I met this Kirin on one of my numerous journeys to the towns of Pyrus. An artifact called the Calofactor, a maker of beauty. I found its various gemstones and radiant configurations so enthralling that my new Kirinkin friend let me borrow the device. What secrets are contained within? I wonder. But fortunately for me, I have plenty of time to research it on our journey to the Alvar Forest. I must leave behind this journal, so this will be the last entry for some time.
Interesting device.
Indeed. All right, and
Hey, wait,
back
can
to
I ask a
where we
question?
started. Yes.
Who is the speaker there specifically?
Jaland 2.
Jajin 2,
And he referenced
and
Jeb as having the
T.
quarterstaff, so I'm very convinced it is in fact Jeb that is our traveling wanderer that we're hoping to save.
If I was to refer to the group of them as a title of it, like name as the group, what would I call them?
Jiri's cousins.
Jiri's
Okay.
cousins. Could you even say the Sons of Jah? Because it wasn't that kind of their faction worshipped those
They are.
three. Yeah.
Indeed. Sons of Ja
Sons of
Amos,
Jah.
not Ja Adras.
Emos. Okay, yeah. I knew it wasn't Adras, but that might give us an answer for one of those statues. Jah Emos.
Sons of Ja. Ja Emus. Can you spell that his name?
Amos. A-M-O-S.
Amos. Okay, thank you. Or like Cedric's dad. God, I fucking love this song.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like it's not elevator, but it's It like has this like
Fantasy
that makes me feel
overworld
like
elevator. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
with like a little bit of refreshing energy to it.
You're going in and out of shop.
Force, but not like aggressive. It's just like a calm, keep
Yeah.
moving forward.
Favorite video game song of all time. Any other questions, Mike?
No, that was all I needed. Thank you.
Alright, last time we were playing, we started in the inn of the Breeze and Ease. You guys awoke, met some of the individuals in the Breeze and Ease. I'll take us to the interiors just to reflect upon who was there. We spoke with some individuals, such as the innkeeper, Holly.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sam.
Sam the Magic Man. Sam. Who Telemachus spoke with, and I can't remember how much you paid. I think it was 5 silver.
I really vexed and
Have him
vexed that, didn't I?
to cast
Yeah.
a random magic spell, which affected
Yeah,
a
spell's
nearby.
fucked up.
I'm so glad you rolled a D20 on that D20. That was like the perfect person for this to happen to, and it could have been really dramatic if it was like one of you guys, but
I've just
we
realized I've been
avoided
dead
that.
for 100 years.
Yep. Yeah, the chef realized he was has been dead for 100 years and slowly started to rot as he ran outside of the building. What else
I
you
love
guys
that kind of
talk
magic
with?
where the magic only like happens when you think of it. It's like
The
it's the
fact that
D&D version of the game.
the
Yeah.
fact that
Oh
the verb
fuck!
to realize is involved is my favorite part. It's not that he relaxes, he's like his finger falls into the stew. What? I was fine an hour ago. The game.
Anyways, you guys still, Shim is still mute, unable to speak, but he did draw a picture for you all of a man with a quarterstaff defending against the creature that attacked him, the monkey. But the monkey had 2 heads. Who else did you talk to? Oh, you talked to some of the people at the bar. They were discussing the nature of curses, and you were able to get some backstory about where curses come from. One of the stories from an individual that is an Ashkenazi, so people that are of the spine, where you are located, the kingdom that was once its own kingdom, but separated out during the War of the Jinn, as a result of um, one of the Jinn gods defying the rule of Ja Adras. You also were able to speak to these people right here, Rem and Graydon. Oops, sorry. Rem and Graydon, they told you a little bit about the ritual of effervescence that was taking place. They explained to you that there are a few different styles or types of effervescence that can be performed. He knew of 3, the Haka, the Umbra, and the Sortilaginous. The empowering, the healing, or the binding effervescence. And he explained that if you are to perform this ritual tomorrow, you will need to decide what form of effervescence you will complete. And kind of outside of game, this will have kind of pretty important implications as to how things will come about. There's a few different varieties of where the story will go based on your decision on what type of ritual to perform. You guys headed off to find this and fight this cursed monkey. You figured it was probably most likely. What's going on here? Music's getting messed up. It was on its way to potentially to the spring, which is where you also think Jan, the old man that you were traveling with originally, may have gotten off to. When you were leaving from the gates, you were stopped by Wendell, who claimed that Jan never came back last night, and she was worried about him since he is a rather old individual. She was concerned that maybe the dandelion got to him. Is Spotify messing up for you guys?
It is periodically pausing, yeah.
I don't know what's going on with it. It's like throwing me off, sorry.
No worries.
Anyways, you went down to on your way to the spring, you came across the Quarry of the Kings. You were able to see the statues from afar, and you were able to see the various Jinn gods and demigods, I suppose, depicted in these giant stone statues. Most notably, there was one that you recognized, looking familiar to Jan himself. Didn't get all of their names yet, so you'll have to go down into the quarry a little bit closer to see if you can find and locate their names for each individual. You did make it eventually to the shrine where the shrine Kieran beckoned you forward. Jay, looking to bring in the air from the spring to restore his winnow or his inner spirit. This is a term that you guys would all be familiar with. Your winnow is kind of like your wind spirit, right? You got your heart, your mind. In Jaland, your winnow is also a very important uh, piece of that kind of internal self, right? It's like a specific type of air that you hold within your lungs, and it can be shared between individuals. So Jay was restoring that winnow, that like store of air in his lungs because it had been full of primordial air since his journeying in the material plane. So he's very eager to breathe in this air to heal that injury when you guys were attacked, and some of you were able to realize the illusion. The
He doesn't want
twin-headed,
stinky breath anymore.
yes, he doesn't want to have stinky breath anymore. Twin-headed cursed monkey was actually in the form of the Kirin, and you were able to discover that the Kirin itself has been impaled on a dead tree sticking out of the shrine. There is a smearing of blood that leads up to the steps to where Jan is laying by the pool. I believe Coakley was able to go and restore Jan, or I think you used like a medical kit on him. Um,
Health pack, whatever it is. Yeah.
Health pack,
He
yeah,
was
whatever it
dead.
is, to get him stabilized. And we went through one round of combat, and we're gonna kind of start with kind of not really a real round in combat, more of like a story round of combat where NPCs may be speaking to certain individuals. Um, I'll allow like a little bit of motion. There won't be any attacks that occur, but this was kind of more so just for flavor and story to get us back into the combat before we start initiative order once again. So I'll give everybody an opportunity to either say something or do something minor just to add to this combat, to the flavor of it. Um, and I wish my music was working. Let's try a different song and see if it works.
I wonder if we need to reset the session. Hasn't this happened before, or would it like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It has happened periodically for me. I'm not sure what causes it.
maybe I'll just restart it right now just to make sure we don't get going and then have to do it.
for sure.
Apologize for the delay. Let me end it. Um,
Do you feel like you're teaching and the slideshow's not working?
yeah.
You know you have everyone enthralled, and the longer you take, the more you risk losing them, and then you're anxious, but you have to keep a
Yeah.
level head. It's very... And then a kid goes to plug their phone into your back behind your desk charger, and that unplugs the TV and computer, and that sets you back
Uh,
5 minutes.
yeah, you look up and kids are like climbing on their desks and like strangling each other, and
They started throwing things because you failed to entertain them for a second.
yeah, yeah, they're whittling
Does this sound
shanks out of a
familiar?
ruler.
Say that again.
Pulling shakes out of a ruler.
That actually
Just like
happened though, by the way.
just like having to keep kids entertained, or
Oh,
else
yeah.
like it gets worse and worse.
All right. I resent
Wait,
the link if you guys want to join that one.
I don't remember if we found it. Is I guess even what I would use my beginning of turn to do, or like in my little free thingy interaction, is just I want to check, is the Kieran dead? Pretty nervous about that.
The
The
body
Kieran,
seems to be floating in the pool at least.
yeah, so it's propelled up above the pool actually. It's like hanging from this tree, and the branches are piercing through its body. It seems to, at the very least, be unconscious. From your position, you wouldn't be able to tell, is it just asleep? Is it just gravely wounded? Or is it actually dead? You're not sure.
Have you guys seen Scary Movie 3 where the woman's head rolls off from the Ring character and the girl and Pamela Anderson keeps poking her? Are you okay? Are
Oh my
you
God.
okay? I feel
Hopefully
like
that's not this.
Yeah, Telemachus is like pulling on his tooth metaphorically, like, "Are you okay?" And it's like that movie. Okay.
I'm gonna start with Coakley and Jan. So Coakley, as you revive and restore Jan to 1 HP, his eyes will blink open and he'll look up at you and say, "Is this some trick, or does Coakley stand before me?"
Ever wise as always, Jan. I do believe we are in a bit of a situation here, and I'm like slowly trying to just keep pulling him further away from the pool of red blood and from away from the monkey, trying to like just up, like up against this wall, like try and just huddle him over to get him safe, or at least further away from the from harm.
Yep, I'll let you move him about 5 feet, and as he's kind of like scooching and like helping you push him with his like legs and one of his hands. Not a mirage then, a miracle. Thank you for the aid. But be careful. This curse is powerful. It has the ability to beguile the senses. My powers have diminished since I returned to Orin. I was no match for the beast. How foolish was I to think that I could link the amber wind on my own. Coakley, fret not for me. I will recover. But you must rescue the Kirin. Restore its power to the spring, and it will aid us in battle. Here, take one of these. You will find better use of them than me for now. You see in one hand he breathes out. Oh, go ahead.
No, what is it? Sorry, that was me asking you.
Oh. He breathes out a mote of golden wind. That whole like kind of flows and spirals in his palm, almost like a hurricane type pattern, swirling maybe like a little bit flatter than that. And he holds it up to you in one hand and then lifts the quarterstaff up with the other. He mentioned take one of these, okay? And he says, "A boon from my aunt, the Windweaver. Take my divine sortilege, or a friend who has saved my life more times than I can remember. Take my Alvar quarterstaff." The decision is yours, which to take from him.
How do you spell sortilege?
Paste
like-
it in the chat.
It's like if a sword user was really privileged and acted like he's a prince.
SORTILEGE. I will.
I didn't know if that was a period dig for a minute. I was like, no, it's just the other Jerry
That's
Prince,
totally
the other Princeton
Yeah.
party.
Sorta a lich.
I was trying to spell Coakley, and the spelling was so embarrassing on how I tried, and then I started going for sortilege instead. I was like, fuck.
I will. We're a heightened situation. Coakley will reverently reach for the quarterstaff, not because he knows it's fancy, but because, or not, he doesn't know anything about it, but more of just Coakley respects gifts in his current bartering state for travel. So he will tentatively reach for the quarterstaff.
Okay, you grab the quarterstaff into your hand, okay? And as you do so, you notice tiny little roots kind of sticking out of it that move to try to like interwove themselves into your flesh, but they kind of like poke at your metal hand, unassured what to do. And then they kind of find a little spot in between maybe the other plates in your hand. I don't know, how are your hand, right? It's got to have like little like slots that it can like kind of find and work its way into.
You can find grooves
Joints.
eventually, yeah.
Yeah. And as it does so, you hear a voice speak in your head.
Would you like to kiss
But
my
it's just a
today?
few words. Protect master. Defend. Attack. Just like questions that appear in your mind. Defend or attack.
my brain I will thank Jan. I will turn around, face the monkey, and I will think attack.
An image of the quarterstaff smacking the cursed monkey like lights up in your mind, and you sense that this weapon is ready to be wielded by you.
Holy shit.
Between him offering his breath to me and having a talking weapon, I am currently reading Oathbreaker.
Yeah.
Or wait, is it Oathbreaker?
Bringer.
No.
Gale Evil.
Oathbringer.
His
My breath. Okay, I'm done.
Jan returns his sortilegeous, divine sortilege into his mouth, breathes it back in, and slowly
paralyzing
starts to like
choice.
plump himself up. He's seated, not prone anymore, still looking like he needs to recover a little bit. We'll
Tim,
go over. Yeah, go ahead.
sorry. Will you just throw initiative on whenever? I only see the monkeys.
I see everybody's.
I don't know if that is a way you can burst that out.
I similarly can only see the monkeys.
No.
I just wanted to have something to. I wanted to be tactical while I wasn't on the.
Maybe I should just clear it and put it back in. 16.
Okay, I just keep hearing Michael Kramer going, pancakes? That voice.
Ori had a 14. Kelly had a 14.
If you're live updating it, we're not seeing it, which is also weird.
No, I'm just typing it so that I remember it.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
gonna delete it and redo it. Monkey had a 16.
It's so amazing when we play BG3 at night and now, and when I use my phone to Discord, because God, do I love not being able to pick it up. Like, it's so, I just love that it's like not even in my vicinity for that, like, you know.
Especially with how temperamental Spotify is, it's just like, leave your phone alone, you know?
I was just reading about ADHD and like and I'm only blabbering because I think we're waiting for inventory or so I hope it's not a delayer. But
Nope.
ADHD, I was just seeing that like because we're always at a lower level of dopamine, the phone is like the dopamine gold mine. And it's just like I notice like if I finish dinner with friends and I'm like, okay, the conversation's lagged, no more food to wait for, like I will sometimes be like, fuck it, like 1 minute of Instagram for the dopamine. And like it's not, I don't know, it's just like always it's just so hard. And then we have fucking teens dealing with that all on their own. It's scary.
You guys see the turn order now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
All right.
I see it. Me at the very bottom.
All the way down there.
Humbling, isn't it, Moby?
Jay is gonna back up and get by Moritaba, and he's gonna use this opportunity to do something he hasn't done in a while. Because you sprayed his mouth, his breath, right? Or what did you use the last spray for?
So the last spray I used because he was entranced in the pool, and so I utilized my last whiff of fresh air, wind, and water to get rid of the senses of this place for a moment, which shook him and I out, or at least gave us the saving throw to shake out of it.
Yeah, that's correct. So his breath, for a brief moment, he's gonna have an opportunity to get a quick word in with Moritaba, and Jay comes up beside you and says, "Did you see that divine sortilege? Proof that he indeed is my cousin Jebulus. As I had suspected. It's been a long time since I had seen him. A mighty ally he would make. But we must be cautious. I will leave the decision up to you, Moby. Moritaba. Sorry. And Moby, both of you will have to decide whether or not to reveal my identity to him. Once we best this curse. For now, I will continue to hide my identity until I can wow my people with my magnanimous power and charm. Perhaps This curse is a perfect cover. Tell the others that I have become cursed and muted for now.
I don't think Moritaba. I think he's pretty good at this. I think he's pretty good at in the heat of a battle, being able to take in new information, which is Jay telling him this stuff, and will like kind of like file it and put it away and be ready to access that when necessary. But then quickly is like back in like battle ready mode, so it doesn't probably gives like a curt nod, and that's about it.
Hyper Moby. This cursed monkey, since you are right beside it, kind of bows down and gets right in your face and shows its like fangs at you, and it tries to roar. You hear nothing.
I pull out my little Curse Crusher's Crucible just in front of me, and I inhale, and the bubbles just sort of surge up my nose and throughout my form, and just sort of showcasing, I am strong against you.
Have you make an intimidation check. You guys are gonna intimidate off right now to see who is intimidating who.
Yeah, is Critter less
Not that it's gonna give
intimidated
you.
because the roar was silent, or is that even
Ooh,
worse?
yeah. I don't know.
That's interesting. So it's almost like it's less aggressive intimidation from my perspective then, and almost like that phenomena is startling, and I don't know the rules and mechanics of this, but I'm holding steadfast because I know I have the defensive Curse Crusher's Crucible. So it's almost a reassurance of myself, and hopefully that will intimidate the creature rather than me trying to dominate presence it.
Got it. Alright, it rolls. Did not mean to
15.
roll with advantage, but either of them is less than yours, so.
Yeah.
You have intimidated, or you are more intimidating than the two-headed curse primate, and your next attack will have advantage against it.
Hell yeah.
Anything you would like to do, Hyper Moby, other than that?
I don't think so. I still have my defensive Curse Crusher's Crucible. I had cast Blade Ward before combat that I think is still active, so I'm just concentrating on that and starting the process of preparing to channel energy and light into my dark weapon. So preparing to strike, but I don't think on this turn.
Telemachus, we're going to jump to you. Can you make your choice, investigation or perception check, as you're appearing at this Kieran, since you were the one to kind of look more closely at this creature?
Yeah. I'll take the investigation.
Okay.
Oh, 16.
Okay. As you're appearing at this Kieran, you notice something hiding behind its corpse, peeking out at you occasionally.
Wait, corpse?
Seemingly a corpse right now. Potentially alive, potentially dead.
I noticed something behind it. Okay, where, and like, what do I notice of it?
You notice two eyes that you've seen before, peering out at you.
This little
A
fucker.
single-headed monkey peering at you. As it looks at you, though, it covers up its eyes and it hides back down behind the Kieran. You see it shift and prepare to spring out at Coakley and Jan.
Oh. Okay, is it my turn?
Nope. Well,
Or
this is your story turn, so you can
is my story turn?
decide.
I see. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. I am going to. I look at it because I'm looking at the Kieran. So just like a refresher of what I did last turn, running up these stairs. I think I cast Magic Missile for the first time, and I just had attacked it because I was like suspicious of it. It just didn't seem very Kieran-like. And now, Telemachus, I'm staring at the Kieran, and like that's kind of my first goal, and I'm like prepping to sprint at it. So I see this creature, And God, what's a curse from Ithaca? What would a Kierankin curse be? I look at
Like a
that
curse word?
monkey. What?
Like a curse word you're thinking of, or
Yeah, like linguistically, culturally, like how would they swear? Like what would they curse by? Like usually what you curse by is something you disdain. So I'm trying to think of like what this people would disdain. And I think this people would disdain materiality. Like again, I'm kind of leaning airbender of like I don't know what the Ithaca's like per se, but I think that there's this sense of like living in combination with that nature. So he would look at it and say, you synthetic little fuck, get over here. And I would like be ready to go fucking rage on this thing. And I'm gonna like prepping my turn. I'm just like about to dive at the Kieran and this thing because and I got some magic brewing in my hand.
Sweet. Coakley and Moritaba, I didn't ask you guys if you had any last things to do on yours, and then we'll start initiative. Either of you two have anything?
no, mine was just getting Jan away from the water, and then kind of interposing myself.
Moritaba, any last thoughts for you?
Nothing for me.
Okay, sweet. And then we will jump back to initiative order. Actually, I do need to roll for initiative for this guy real quick. Right now, the only one that sees it is Telemachus. Wait a minute.
Also, I'm
What's
remembering I
rolling?
also have the jump spell
what?
active, just for food for thought.
What am I doing? There we go. 5. Ooh, tied with Coakley. Coakley, what is your dexterity?
Eat +3. 17.
Okay, you win. All right. Sweet. All right, it will be going between Coakley and Moby then. The cursed monkey, the two-headed cursed monkey.
Wait. Can we
Loses.
pause real?
Yep.
I thought Moby, aren't you ahead of me, or are you not? Am I wrong?
I'm at the very bottom of initiative.
Oh, I'm sorry, Moritaba. I thought when we started Moritaba was ahead of me, but and I know our dexes are similar, so I didn't know if something got jangled or not.
My
Let's
dex is
see.
1.
Oh, then I'm faster. Sorry. Then before it was just sorting. Okay.
Sweet. All right. Having lost the staring contest with Hyper Moby, this creature is rather intent at getting some revenge, so it is going to be using its multi-attack feature against you. It is going to be using one attack with its tentacle and one of its attacks with its cursed gaze.
Okay. I do have Blade Ward up, so I'm going to roll a d4 to minus at least the first attack, and hopefully I hang on to concentration.
Here is the 10th. Oh, starting
boy.
off with a natty 20.
Okay. Okay. What damage am I looking at? It'll be minus
Maybe
1 from my bubble flame.
Woof.
Nat 20 almost makes me really
5, 9, 12.
12 minus 1 is 11. So
11
minus
damage.
11. It bloodies me with that strike.
Oof.
I'll also make a con save real quick to hang on to concentration. I hang on to concentration at least.
How much damage was that?
11 damage.
Necrotic.
11 damage.
11.
Yep. Bludgeoning, necrotic, powerful critical hit, smacks you. It whips down with its tentacle and smacks you right across the side of the head with it. And then it is using its cursed gaze feature upon you.
I'll say almost
I need you-
Stormlight-esque. Part of my mage armor cracks in the in that part of it,
Ooh.
and some of the blade ward as dark light sort of leaks out of it like dark steam.
Ooh, nice. I need you to roll a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw. DC 13, sorry, 13 Wisdom saving throw.
I will roll my save, and I get a +1 to this from my bubble flame.
Do you have a heroic?
Ooh, I do have a heroic.
I think I used mine, and I'm
gonna go ahead and use it.
Okay.
So I will mark that off. I no longer have heroic, and
Yeah, I feel like you don't
roll.
want to fail this one.
Oh, I still fail.
Oh, dude, this guy's turn was meant to fuck you up.
Yep.
Yeah, wowza. I need you to roll a d6.
4.
Okay. You are now deafened. Curse Monkey has advantage on tentacle attacks made against you. You are deafened
They already
until the
used that,
start
right?
of the next turn. So,
Okay.
yeah, but on its next turn, it's going to have advantage against you.
Okay. So it sort of glares at me, and I just feel like my senses disoriented, and then I just lose all hearing. And I think back to the sinners that were afflicted by conditions similar to this, and I worry, is this permanent?
Yep. All right. That is its turn. It's gonna stand at the kind of lip of this waterfall and kind of like raise its arms up triumphantly as it has battered its first foe. Olympicus, it is your turn.
Wow, that really changes everything I was about to do, kinda. Because I, um, am literally about to sprint, and I watch as this big fucking swing goes at crit, or Moby. So I'm gonna keep the same magic in my hand, but instead of jumping at the Kieran, I'm gonna just stride over with the little. How much movement is that gonna take me? I'll use. Can I just go straight like that, or do I need to go up the stairs?
Um, Wait a minute. Can you show me it one more time? Yeah, so that's a gap. You could jump it.
Is it okay? Is it a big jump or not? It doesn't.
5 feet, but then it's probably a few feet up, so maybe like a 7 foot jump.
You
And
know.
then and then you gotta go up even a little bit higher. Probably like 10 foot, I would say, if you wanted to clear it and not just like hang on to the edge of it.
No sweat. I'll just go like this instead. If I go up 5, and
Yeah,
then
really, I think you're gonna have to do this here, and then you can go across.
okay, that sounds fine. So that's 15 of mine. Oh, I don't have boots on yet. What am I talking about? Um, I am I'm gonna run up this way and then dash over to crit. So that was 20 feet. And I'm gonna just grab uh your torso and back. Like I just sprint at you and almost like bear hug you, and then as I do, I just like this like vapor comes out of my mouth. And I will use my Kieran Kin ability to heal you
Ooh.
with healing hands. So I'm gonna roll 2d4, and you'll get that.
Sort of using
Or
my
health back.
my black sword staff, like I'm kneeling, and like you help me kind of up with this, and I regard you with a newfound appreciation that is striking me in this moment. Thank you.
Well, yeah, you're welcome. So I give you 4 health back, and then can I cut like that, or do I need to use another? I don't think you can kitty corner a boss. I'll go up 5, and that because I think I took 25 to get there, so that would be 30, and I think my movement
Yep.
speed is 30. Oh, yeah, that's what I'll do, and I'm gonna. Oh, as I leave you, I kind of I like look at you, and then yeah, I don't know if you're deaf, do I? I
Probably not.
what I will do is I'll look at you, and I'll say, "Monkey in the tree, go," and I point at the tree, and I say, "Little monkey in the tree, go to the tree." And then I start moving away from you, and my main thought is like, "You're hurt, go to the tree." But I and then I walk away from you.
Okay, I don't hear
And
any
then-
words come, but if you're gesturing with your arms, I'll try and follow your gaze. And am I able to see the singular monkey over there?
I'll give you a check to see. Either make an observation. Or no, it's gonna have to be a perception check.
Okay.
You're not gonna have time to investigate. I think
Yeah.
requires a little bit more time.
12 total.
You're not able to see the monkey entirely. You don't recognize that it's a monkey, but you do see that there is something clinging to the backside of the Kirin. But with what Telemachus has said, wait, hold
Which
on.
I don't hear his words.
You don't
He's
hear
just
anything,
gesturing
yes.
off in that direction.
You don't know what it is, but you can sense that there is some other like creature or being behind the Kirin. Up to you to decide if you would intuitively think, oh, maybe that's another
Okay.
enemy. You are aware of its presence. You don't know what it is, though.
Okay.
Then Telemachus,
And that's my
you
turn.
are now in an area of difficult terrain. You've gotten deep enough
Oh.
into the water here. Yeah,
Okay.
that this pool is probably past your knees at this point, maybe closer to waist
Okay.
height.
Good to know.
Moritaba, your turn.
So here's here's my plan. I see this kind of section of rubble in front of me.
Yeah, and it's rubble would be a great way to describe it. It's kind of just like rocks.
Is it
It's
like-
not necessarily a wall.
Okay. Does it kind of like ramp up in any sort of way?
Yeah, it'll kind of get some elevation.
So what I would love to try, is I would try to like here, 1, 2, 3, something in here, and then I'd love to try and leap towards Moby, towards the monkey, try and get up there to help my mentor. Which one, boom, theoretically is a 15-foot. Diagonals are weird. So with a
About 20
jump,
feet. This waterfall is about 20 feet tall, though.
Okay. Is there any hope to like grab the lip of it with a running jump? Because I think with a running jump I can jump 17 feet. Or jump myself
Yeah,
as
I
far.
think lip is going to be what you're going to have to go for. I don't think you're going to be able to land on the top of it, but you could potentially grab kind of the lip where Hyper Moby is, just like by his feet, kind of.
Yeah, I'd like
I'm going to
try
make you
that.
make an athletics check, though. Ooh,
Wow.
snap.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, you can
It's a
describe
plus
it, but I'm
one nat
imagining you.
20.
I'm
This ain't
imagining you
Toby.
like running up, bounding off the top of this, and then like flying through the air and grabbing onto this
Yeah, and
kind of like rock in place.
I like imagine I'm gripping the Tempestus spear in my hand. I break into this run, and as I leap, there's this kind of basically gust of wind from my feet as I like launch myself towards my mentor.
Sweet. You grab on with one hand, spear in the other, and you pull yourself up, and then you're kind of like head over the lip. Your arms are there, you're about to do like a tricep dip, kind of push up to get you up, but you are still technically not entirely on that space. You're kind of still halfway up.
Would you
Your
say
movement.
that has taken my action or not?
I would say so, yeah, for running a long jump like that, yep.
Then I don't have anything with my bonus action. I'm just hoping to begin like getting one elbow up on there with a spear in the other hand and like clearly getting ready to start stabbing at this curse. And that'll be my turn.
Got it. Awesome. Very cool. Coakley, on the start of your turn, I am going to grant you with heroic inspiration for rescuing Jan. If you have, you already have one,
Yeah.
I'll let it stack. But at the end of this session, if you have two, you're going to be dropped down to one.
I will use it as soon as possible. I do one last look back to make sure Jan is safely tucked away, and since I am filled with the vision of this stick in my hand hitting this large two-headed monkey with tentacles, I have 40 feet of... Oh, nope, that's the wrong keyboard. He's 5, 10, 15,
And
20?
then, yeah. So the water level here, probably just your ankles. But not difficult terrain just yet. But any deeper that you get, it will be.
I will stay right here, right
Yeah.
next to Hypermobi, Robbie Toma, whatever his name is. And I will.
Was crazy.
I'm gonna take a swing at him. I am assuming a quarterstaff is just this. Is there a special thing I should be rolling, or is it still just a plus?
Quarterstaff. It's a normal quarterstaff, but it is a +2 weapon right now.
Whoa. Okay, so we'll add 2 to this number. If it came through. I don't think it did. I don't understand you sometimes.
I feel like I got level 1 a wizard after level 1 a fighter, and all of a sudden I'm like in spell city of like, which spell should I use? Like it's just like back to feeling more Felix than Telperion for the first time in a while.
I also would have been two-handed on this one.
Oh my god.
So
Two-handed for less, naturally.
but no.
+2 damage, right?
No. I'm a savage attacker, which is why I was re-rolling the D8 to see if I got higher. 7 bludgeoning. Is it savage attacker? What is it called? Is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah.
But I think it would end up being 9 damage
Oh,
because this is a
sorry.
+2 weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a +2
sorry.
weapon.
Yeah.
So 11 damage?
Just 9 bludgeoning.
Okay,
Two-handed
got it.
is a 7 plus a 2. Sorry.
9 bludgeoning. Okay, where do you smack this thing? Or how do you smack it? Like what? Just go over the head? Okay.
I'm going straight for the thing that's closest to me, which would be one of his tentacle hands. So I'm assuming I'm just like hitting him, trying to hit like right at the wrist of his little tentacular appendage.
Okay. So as this quarterstaff kind of flies through the air, you notice it start to like, I guess, morph or change mid-flight. The end of the quarterstaff kind of becomes a little bit more bulbous and like expands outward, hardening almost like a knot in a tree as it smacks into the wrist of this monkey. And then as you pull it back, it kind of shrinks back into a normal looking quarterstaff.
Incredible.
And you hear in your mind once again, protect master. Attack monkey.
I like its voice.
Yeah.
And then an image flashes in your mind and you see it kind of like its next attack as you see it like and it's a vision of you and it's swinging at the monkey's knee instead.
Interesting. I almost like just like as a unconscious reaction, I will be focusing my eyes on the thing, and then as a bonus action, I will kick out with an unarmed strike at the wrist again, not at the knee, but I will take an unarmed strike. 22 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And then this I should definitely increase because I rolled a 1. So 6 bludgeoning from my kick. And I will stay right there. Action, bonus action, movement.
Did 15 total damage, I believe.
Yeah.
All right.
Is this Midnight's
Next
Lament?
up.
It has the theme of Midna's Lament within the Puppeteer song. I've been catching that.
Yep. Next up, you see a second monkey. All of you that didn't notice this creature at first, hop from the corpse, seemingly corpse, of the Kirin. It lands down on the water, and runs over to Jan, who is seated. Jan raises his hand to defend himself as the cursed monkey attacks him.
That's on me.
One-headed cursed monkey.
Nat one.
Better him than us, right?
Pretty damn close.
Yep, and so
Why
Jan
did-
is able to put his hand up and swat aside the claw attack from this this monkey.
A blinding one.
Yes, indeed. But it did
Very.
not land, so no ill effects on Jan right now. Ibramovi, you are up.
Can't hear, but Telemachus had encouraged my attention in one direction, and I'm somewhat interested in escaping the attacks of this thing, at least for a moment. And now I've seen that creature leap out and go attack Jan.
Mm-hmm.
How you getting there?
I will look at Moritaba, gripping the lip to my foot, and I will simply give you a nod. And then my form will just break apart and then siphon like dark gust over toward Jan as I use a cloud jaunt as a bonus action.
Ooh.
Which
Holy
that gave
cow.
unnecessary. That gave an unnecessary amount of info, but I'm using one of my 2 cloud jaunts for the day, as I will
Sweet.
just silently teleport here.
Dude, fucking sweet.
Wow.
And then with my action, I'm going to burn my only remaining spell. I'm deafened, but I can still speak words and summon the verbal components of a spell, right?
Yes.
And I will reach to the sky. I will summon my sword staff into my hands and reach it up into the sky with the sword end facing down, the staff head up above my hands. And looking at the sky, I will shout for not the sortileges of Jeb or Sons of Jah or even the hero Jiri, but my friend to fill my sword now. And striking from the sky, a lightning bolt channels its energy into my sword, and I slam it into the ground and cast Thunder Wave in front of myself, hoping to knock the monkey away from Jan.
Ooh, cool.
Wow.
So he will need to make a Constitution saving throw. And I just have to be touching the edge of the square, so I think I can shape it in a way where it originates
Yep.
from like not hitting Jan and not hitting the Kieran. Yeah, like that final one. With a 9, that should be a fail, so he'll take 12 thunder damage and be pushed back. How far?
10 feet, I think?
10 feet backward.
Yeah, he's gonna kind of like bounce off this wall here.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of environmental damage, so I'll give it an extra D4 damage as
Hell
it
yeah.
collides with the rock wall, and maybe rocks fall on it, and it kind of like does a little bit of extra bludgeoning damage. I'll let you roll
Do you
it.
want me to roll that, or do you want to roll that?
I'm gonna have you roll it for sure.
Okay. So 12 thunder and 2 bludgeoning, probably. And then I'll use the rest of my movement to step up in front of Jan, glaring at the monkey. And that'll do it for my turn.
14 damage, got it.
I have used all my spell slots and quite a chunk of resources, but
Okay. Monkey stares at you, surprised and angered. It's still eyeing Jan. You can kind of see it. It crouches down, and it's kind of like moving its head side to side, looking for an angle. Its primary target is the person behind you on the ground. It seems intelligent enough to know to pick off the weak foes first.
okay.
Top of initiative. Jan has recovered and gotten to his feet. I'm gonna roll initiative for him. Oh, shucks. Alright, we'll have to do it this way. Ooh. Going first.
My aunt, the Wendy. So Jerry's mom.
Yes, indeed. Potentially. Makes sense to me.
Is it gonna be worth it for me to proc an opportunity reaction attack out of him so we burn his reaction? Do you think? That's a Moby and or that's an MK and a Steve question, because like if you don't think we're gonna be getting out, I want to get out of range so I could do a ranged attack, but if it's not gonna help you guys, then I don't know if I'll risk it.
I'm planning to stay close.
I'm not moving.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I was worried about.
Someone else is protecting Jan.
All right. What does he want to do? This or that. He is going to do this, I think. All right.
That was just the Zelda's lullaby motif in there.
Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jan is going to get to his feet, and he is going to clasp a medallion at his chest, speak some holy words, a prayer to Odros, the Windweaver, and he is going to cast Bless at 3rd level so that it can affect everyone in combat right now.
Hell yeah.
That rolls just got a lot better.
So you all have Bless. So you will all make attack, saving throws, roll a d4. I'll let you guys roll it.
Hell yeah.
He's going to concentrate on that and kind of like sit behind Moby, and he'll speak to you, and he'll say, Moby, guard me for a moment, and I will heal your wounds.
I don't acknowledge his words as
yeah.
I'm looking at the monkey and cannot hear him.
That is true. Well, Jan does not realize that either, though. Moby! Moby! Says it a little bit louder, but he cannot get your attention. And then he thinks to himself something. You don't see it, but there's a look of recognition on his face once he is unable to get your attention. We'll go to the Cursed Monkey. Cursed Monkey is going to turn towards Coakley. He's kind of boxed in. Wanted to go after Hyper Moby again, who he's got advantage on, but he's going to go for you, Coakley, and he's going to make both of his attacks against you. He's going to make one with his tentacle and one with his gaze. Tentacle first.
Good luck.
No, not
See.
gays.
Not the gays. Heroic Inspiration I can't use as like a for them to reroll, right? It's just my rerolls. I forget how the new one
I
works.
think so.
Any die immediately after rolling it. So just
Any die. Oh, yeah,
After
you
I
can.
roll.
Yeah,
after you
yeah.
A 19 will hit.
Or 10. Ooh, good roll there. Almost as much as the crit.
Yeah, wow.
10 total damage. 6 bludgeoning, 4 necrotic. As a cursed tentacle whips about and slams into the side of your body, right underneath the staff. Kind of finds its way through your arm, under your guard, smacks you right in the kidney, where a kidney should be if you had them. Or liver, I guess. Liver shot, kidney shot, somewhere around there. And use its cursed gaze. Make a wisdom saving throw, please.
This one I can reroll if
Yeah, you're better than my +0 to this.
20.
Right.
Hell yeah.
His eyes stare at you. your robo brain is capable of not being affected by his cursed
Ouchies.
gaze right now. Yeah. It's gonna stand its ground still here on the top of the waterfall here. It's kind of proud that it is claimed kind of the center of the battlefield here. Mortaba, your turn.
Well, look, this is the thing that happened. Is it my turn before yours or not?
Oh yeah, sorry, Telemachus. It is your turn first, technically, yes.
Uh, and that's actually, I actually would rather go after MK to see what happens, but I just like to remember that was still funny. Okay, I am looking up this thing. It just did a single attack at. Okay, well,
One attack, and then
that
you see it.
is
One of its head kind of like is controlling its arm. The other head was like staring at Folkley very intently.
woof. Yeah, it's pretty freaky. I am going to. Uh, all this time I didn't decide what I want to do. I'm looking up at this tree in the Kieran. How high above me is the Kieran?
Uh, Tree 15 feet up.
15 feet up. Okay. And how big is this creature? Like, would I be going out of range to climb the tree?
Creature is a large creature, so it is a 10 by 10.
Okay.
Potentially not.
No, because if you're at the very tippy top of the tree, you would still be within range of it.
In its range. Okay. Um, you know
It
what?
also
I'm gonna.
has a 10-foot extra. It's got extra range too, so.
Jeez. Okay. So there's like getting out of this thing's range is gonna be a nightmare. I would like to look at this monkey and um swing at it. With actually no, I want to try to do something weird. I'm gonna point my sword at it, and then right above its head, sparks appear, little cinders of like rainbow reflected light, and then they burn down and like sheaths of like flame blades down at his form, and he's gotta make a dex save as I cast Sacred Flame. I want to see what radiant
Which
damage does to this
monkey? Are
guy.
you looking at one-handed monkey or two-headed monkey?
The one that's
Okay.
by the two-headed one, the one that's in front of me, the big
Okay,
boy.
big monkey. Big monkey, got it.
Yeah, dex save.
Dex save on the way. 13.
I think that meets it, beats it, because I think I have a 13. Yeah, spell save 13. What a bummer.
It's a bummer.
That, sucker save. That's what the cantrips are like. I want to use as much of my movement as I have, which is 30 feet, to, well, actually, yeah, to hop into the tree and start climbing it. So,
You
however I
can
can,
get to
however far,
the top of the tree because it's probably gonna be half your movement, so you're able to pull yourself up and kind of get to where the branches where the Kieran is.
fabulous. And now that I'm like up here, can I just assess before I end my turn on looking at like I'm not are there any like branches coming out of its like neck or head? Like is it obviously going to be dead from these wounds, or is it like, oh no, all major, like it looks like it's speared through the shoulders but or what hanging by something, but it's not like corpse like. I'm trying to just get that difference.
I'm gonna make you make a medicine check, but I'm gonna give you advantage because it is a Kieran and you are very familiar with these creatures,
Oh,
these beings. There's probably a lot of like information that is passed down on in grade school about these creatures, right?
I rolled
Young
an 18 on the
Telemachus.
big boy. I think it's a flat 18 for me because I don't think I have. Yeah, it is. Hell yeah, got lucky.
Kieran are a very incredible creature, or very incredibly difficult to destroy and kill. To kill a Kieran, you'd actually have to destroy the entire spring itself in some way. So although this creature has looking like it's suffered like mortal wounds, you can tell that it is still alive. It's being tormented and tortured right now, as it has a number of these branches kind of piercing through it. You see scratch marks, bite marks on it. This cursed monkey, who knows what it was trying to do, but it was clearly trying in some way to taint or take control of this spring, needing to keep the Kieran alive to do so.
Okay. Fabulous. Thank you. I rest my turn.
Okay. Moritaba.
We are going full Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Maul on the edge. I do a nice
Yes.
flip up, and I come stabbing straight down with a Tempesta Spear. And I'd love to throw the +1 in
Damage or attack?
and damage.
Okay.
So, also it's going to be channeling wind, so this will be my true strike. 2 hands. I can
19
also
hits.
roll a d4 for the sake of it.
Oh, for the bless. Yeah.
Yep, you are blessed.
Yes.
So, that was max damage. 8 plus 2 + 1 for 11.
Holy
radiant
toad,
damage
Moby.
as I land right
Maury.
beside my friend.
Rory.
Your nickname would be Maury, right?
Oh, I don't do nicknames. My
His
name
name's
is
not
Uh,
Nick.
Moritaba.
That's the inevitable first
My
step.
name is Maury
Getting a
Toby.
nickname. I don't do nicknames as like the ultimate challenge accepted.
So that 11 radiant damage. I've got the spear right up in this thing's face. No bonus action, and that would be my turn.
Where did you
That's
stab
badass.
it? Like, where'd you aim for?
I think as I came down, maybe I just give it a big gash across its chest.
Gash.
A big slash across his chest. It opens up a gaping wound and a kind of a big spray of blood from this cursed creature. Very dark colored blood, almost purplish in tint. Kind of starts pooling in the bottom of this waterfall and flows over the stream. This creature is bloodied.
Hell yeah, Moritaba. Love when the results match the epicness of the lead up.
Yeah, I do all
Yeah.
that, and I just get a nat 1. It's like, oh shit.
It's very similar to my Thunderwave thing. I'm
Tell
like,
me about it.
glad that worked because I really sort of tried to hype it up.
Alright. One-headed monkey's turn. The one-headed monkey ducks down and it lunges forward at Hyper Moby. But at the last second, it's a feint. And it shifts to the right and continues around to get at Jan. Not leaving your space, but going in for the kill on Jan. Jan is able to this time duck as its claw scrapes against the rock wall behind it. Oakley, your turn.
I, being inspired by Maury's incredible stabbing, jump, and swing. The thing is the quarterstaff is spinning, and I focus on it, and I just whisper in my head, the knees, and I will just take a swing and go after the knee that I saw in my head. Quarterstaff.
Jeez.
23 to hit. And I'll
23 certainly hits.
and I'll re-roll that d8 to see if I can get higher, which we can.
Oh,
That's
snap.
13 bludgeoning.
Okay. Certainly hits pretty satisfyingly. And then we are also going to give you the topple condition on this attack. I'm trying to look it up right now to see what it does, but I'm pretty sure it allows you to roll to see if you can knock the target over.
Topple is they make a con saving throw against
Yeah.
DC 8 plus your proficiency. Oh, and Dex, so 13 would be the DC. And Monkey makes
Con
a
save?
con
Okay.
save or go prone.
Thank you very much. All right, here we go. Here's the roll. 15.
Either save, yeah. If my DC is 13, yeah.
So you smash in the
I said that
knee.
too. Like, I can't believe it's true that my DC is 13, but I guess.
Yeah, they all are. Seeing that I almost knocked him down, I will whisper in my head, "Hold me up, please." And I will just like I'll stick the quarterstaff into the ground, and I'll do like I'm gonna lift both feet off at once, and I'm gonna do like a double kick using a focus point. Using a focus point to do like a with the heels of my feet into that same knee. So I'm gonna do 2 unarmed strikes. The first one being a 14 to hit.
Plus D4 and plus.
Oh,
Plus a D4.
Just the D4.
oh, 1d4. 17 to hit.
17 hits.
How many times can I do Savage Attacker per turn? Is it just once per turn or every attack?
Once per turn when you hit with a weapon.
Oh, so then I can't do this one. 7 bludgeoning on the first attack, the first foot, and then fuck it. No, I'm just re-rolling. I'm using that point of inspiration.
Yeah.
Nice.
Roll a D4.
Oh.
12.
12 does not do it.
So 20 total bludgeoning between the thwack and the kick.
Still wow.
Woof.
And I will go down into a nice little defensive position, looking over my shoulder at that monkey behind me that's going after Jan and kind of focusing on him for a moment.
Okay, before you end your turn, the voice speaks in your mind once again. Protect, master. Attack, monkey. And you have an image that flashes in your mind, and it's of you, but not standing where you are right now. Your perspective changes, and it looks like you're over in this space on the other side of the tree where Telemachus
really
is.
really cool stuff
And-
going on there.
In the water?
And what in the water, but what you imagine is as you see the staff reaching out in front of you, and it expands, like it lengthens as you're shoving this creature right in the chest, and you see the cursed monkey falling back into the waterfall.
Dude.
I will look over at that spot, and I will, as you wish, and I will end my turn.
Hyper Moby.
First of all, I just want to give kudos to you, Tim, for a cool weapon idea of like, oh, it's going to suggest conditions, and if you meet those conditions, you benefit in this way. You don't have to, but it benefits you to do so. That's really fun. It's kind of divination wizardy, but in a weapon, kind of. Really interesting. Okay, I will do something I've never done as a sorcerer before, because usually there's other, usually there's other better options for sorcery points. But in this case, I don't have better options. What I have is I start to mutter an incantation, and there's a surge of darkness, but it subdues, and I'm running out of potency. So I'll reach my hand up to the side, not exactly the sky, and you'll see a fractal crack in the very air. that looks iridescent in color, a shimmer of amber, vermilion and red and purple and violet. The air itself cracks, and all of a sudden you see a stream of energy wash into me as I use a bonus action to sacrifice my 2 sorcery points to create a first level spell slot.
Ooh, nice.
And with my other hand still grasping my spell sword, I'll raise it to the air and say, "Again!" And I will use that newly created spell slot to do another thunder wave,
Oh, sick.
knocking the monkey.
What's it
So
gonna
he
make?
will
Con?
need to make a Constitution save.
No, 19.
Knocking the monkey is
rooting
such
for
a
you.
great sentence, though.
I know.
It makes the save. Having
Yeah,
seen
so
this
it
attack
will not
last
be
time.
blasted back, and it'll only take half damage, and I rolled poorly, so only 3 thunder damage, I think.
3 thunder damage. I was rooting for you. That would have been cool. But
I was rooting
however,
for you.
the dice did not cooperate this
Yep.
time.
That's okay.
The monkey, having seen this attack last time, kind of adjusted to it and was able to defend itself a little bit better.
All right.
You
Bio
said
break,
some
I'm
type
gonna
of
go knock the
intelligence.
monkey real quick.
Don't say that.
Yeah, we could. Should we all take a bio break? I don't know it.
We
I'm not
can. It's at the
actually-
top of
I'm not-
initiative.
Oh my god!
not
I
actually
thought you were. I'm
desperate, but-
sorry. I thought you were using that to pee, and then I was like, that doesn't sound like pee, though.
No, it's a euphemism of a different variety.
Jesus.
Do we need a bio break? Because this would be the top of initiative if you guys.
Yeah, and it's halfway through the time, so I think that's good.
Yeah.
Could
All
get
right. We'll take a
coffee
quick
refill.
bio break. Yeah.
break.
Quick
Perfect.
bio break, and we'll be back.
Sweet.
Oh, I'm fighting like a spring head cold or something right now. It's not fun.
I got really sick last weekend, like, and it hit me out of the blue. I was glad it happened to not be a D&D weekend, because I'm like, I don't know if I could have played through it. It was really rough. And then MJ seemed to get a similar or the same thing. Like a couple days later, a bunch of coworkers got it. I think I got it from work, but it was just like, I don't know if it was COVID or what it was, but it hit me like a truck. So hopefully you're gonna get through your thing quickly.
I don't think it was like anything too crazy. Like I felt fine all week. It's just like just feeling congested, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like hard for me to speak because I feel like I sound like a frog.
I know you said the big monkey's looking bloodied, and potentially Coakley has a little insight into a way that could be successful in defeating it. Does the little monkey look bloodied? Has it taken substantial damage?
No, I think we're the only one that's really hit it.
Okay.
So
No.
no,
12 and then 3.
you guys did a bunch of damage to the cursed monkey in that first round against it from last time.
Yeah.
So it's taken way more damage than the other one has. But it's gunning for Jan.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
Yeah, your question that Jay posed, and also like the different effervescences, like it has me thinking a lot about like, are we gonna parade Jay around like Jiri is returned and we're gathering
Jay and
forces?
or Jeb.
Or do we stay real low and subtle and go around collecting stuff? You know, like how much noise do we make in the fact that we're rising up against Drakkar? I think that's a really fun choice.
I totally agree with that thought process. And for me, I have a very clear answer on what I would want to do as Hyperavel, as Moby. But I want to obviously discuss what you guys think. Because I think it has to do with which statues we take pictures of, how we craft the narrative to present at the ritual. I think all that matters a lot. And to me, I think there's some clear decisions. But
I did forget to mention that the statues that you pick out are also kind of in the same line of like will guide the story based on that decision. Similar with which effervescence you pick.
I like hearing you talk about this stuff, Crit, because I don't really feel like as a level 1 character I have influence on the world yet, and that's like not true. Like we do.
yeah, I
But I
think
don't
this
know
is a
why it's
very
just like,
fun opportunity of choice.
yeah, and they need to start like viewing us as more, and I don't know why I'm like just like new to a world and like taking a back seat in the storytelling until now, but like that's a really helpful way to be thinking about all those things.
Well, and I'm hoping that Hyperavel / Moby can have a conversation with you guys that sort of requests your aid in caring about a thing I care about, where otherwise you might not have had motivations that make you give a shit, but I want to make you give a shit.
True. Yeah, Telemachus hasn't given a shit yet. Anyway.
Telemachus is a hard one to wrangle, it seems.
Into things that he
He's
kind of
got
considers
sights
not
set
his
on
affair.
Yeah. Well, you've got an alchemist shop in mind. I'm like, I need you for more than that, pal.
I know, and he doesn't view. He's like wants to be a hero, but it's still like, oh no, I probably need to do the mundane things of getting a safe security deposit set up, right? Like, I didn't even realize that conflicting impulse until you mentioned it.
Probably some hints of like imposter syndrome, like, oh no, I'm not good enough yet to be influencing the world.
Seriously, that is actually, I think, his insecurity. I like that. See, our characters need breaks in the middle of a fight to have some snacks and discuss their interior
All right,
interior
Monkey, hang on a
lives.
second. We need to
Yeah.
get back on the same page.
We're having a break. We're having a breakthrough over here.
That's funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Then the monkey just pulls out my throat, and it doesn't matter because we die.
Holy shit.
Are we ready to get back to the battle?
We ready?
Hell yeah.
All right. Jan's up. As Jan is desperately fending off this creature with no weapon in hand, he's gonna reach out his hand, grabbing his symbol on his neck once again, summoning his divine sortileges. He will turn to Moby and he'll put a hand kind of on your shoulder, and he will cast another 3rd level spell. He's gonna cast Remove Curse on you, so you can once again hear.
Wow.
So your
Audio comes back to me, and
your
I
audio
regard
kinda
it with appreciation.
clicks back in, and he says, "Right, now that we can talk, keep this thing off of me so that I can heal you."
Magic sufficient for Jeb. The hero of old returned as I suspected. We will have words after this. Live to hear them.
He turns to you, and you kind of caught him off guard there, and he says, more observant than I would have assumed. Maybe my disguises hasn't been as adequate as they need to be. Either way, yes. If you know that name, then we must talk after this. But first, that monkey there. We must take care of these curses.
And so we shall.
He puts his arms up kind of in a defensive posture, warding off the monkey in front of him. Curse monkey's turn. It's gonna swing its attention towards Moritaba, and it's gonna hit you with 2 attacks.
And as it
One with its tentacle,
goes to attack
one with
me,
its eyes.
it feels its strength is sapped, so it will have disadvantage against me with its first
Oh
attack.
yeah, your spear sap, yeah.
Okay. Regretting its decision, but it has made that decision, so it still will be.
Wow.
All right. However, does not have disadvantage on its gaze, so it will stare at you, and you must make a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Alright, big -1 coming through here. Ooh! Not needing less.
It's turn wasted. This monkey looks grumpy. Albagus.
All right, I want to do something. Let me start out
go
by
ahead.
saying that.
Okay.
Good start.
Okay. No mechanics are like perfectly aligned with what I want to do here. So Telemachus, since he's come into this fight, he hasn't really drawn his swords much. He's not really drawn on his arcane energy at all. He's kind of gone into like almost this like prime terror state of like seeing one of the Kirin, like I don't think they're gods exactly, but I think they're like almost like demigods to the Kirin kin. Like they are like the embodiment of their culture in ways, a lot of ways. So he's just been like really shaken. So he's up here, and he's like, we're like, I have no healing hands ability. Like I just used it. And I have second winds that I need to come up with a cool name for, and I can't heal myself anymore. I'm at full, and I want to like give this thing some of my essence and energy. And I have a single spell slot that is to my name. So what I'd like to do is I would like to like connect my essence to this Kieran using like my base Kieran kin connection of what I have, and I also have a guiding bolt of my Kieran kin. Like that's my starting feat was the that kind of more radiant magic that I think is like more feral in the Kieran kin. So even now I'm like still just drawing on like my base instincts, and I just want to like give anything I can and like help like resurge this thing to life, or just like draw from it and connect with it to like stabilize each other, since I have this excess of self energy and healing.
Okay. And you're willing to cast your spell, your last spell slot, to kind of accomplish this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I could use a bonus action second wind. I'd expend my action and I'd expend my spell slot, which is kind of the most I can expend, those three things in a like standard turn. But I'd also expend my one free guiding bolt. Like I imagine this could go a few ways. Like if I shoot a guiding bolt out, like in burning all of this together, or I just consume it to back up more what's happening. I'm happy to do any and all of those expenditures. Kind of just rolling them together and seeing what comes out narratively.
Yeah, and I'm trying to right now. I'm just trying to think of what role I want you to make. I'm leaning towards Arcana, but I'm also thinking religion because what I'm imagining you're also trying to perform at the same time is a version of effervescence, of binding yourself, connecting yourself to the shrine and the Kirin itself, almost like your life energy is or the connection between your winnow, your wind spirit, and this Kirin's is making a connection. You're binding yourself to this shrine so that it's or the spring so that it's almost
So
feeding off of your life force.
yeah, can I tell the tale now that we know the two ends of it?
Yes. Yep.
Because so from below on the ground, Telemachus had like he'd strung like that, like I picture it as like blue purple mist that went into Moby, and then pulled down those like splintered reflective lights from the sacred flame. So I picture him coming back up, and as he's going, you see the breath still misting out from his mouth, and you see one hand behind him as he's climbing the tree is like summoning back those shards of splintered fire. And then like in getting up here, he like gets to the Kieran's head and like before, like tries to give the breath, but there's not any to give. And then like with the guiding bolt that's like inherent in me today, like the fire like coalescing around my hands, and like holding the Kieran's head and like kind of like breath, like life to like almost like trying to breathe into its like open mouth.
Mhm. So I'm gonna let you make the decision. Would you rather make this as a religion check or an arcana check?
I would favor Arcana.
Okay. So this is more not so much understanding the theory or the ritual that's required for an effervescence, more so just like intuitively with your magic, performing a very similar style of ritual, but more so from your knowledge of magic.
Sweet. Absolutely. All right. Oh, I rolled a 13 plus 5, 18.
All right.
I'm hearing the BG3 noises of the dice getting added together.
Okay. So you're kind of breathing, you're connecting your breath to this creature's breath, kind of, right?
Yeah, and I think this is also like this is my first time seeing a Kieran like treated or wounded like this. So there's just like this like I think that there's some knowledge in like intrinsically happening, but there's also just like a shaking with fear and hoping I can affect change, as in like his core fear is that he can't enact change, and that's like why he's out here. So like just like all that kind of coming to ahead here.
And I'm imagining like you make this connection, and it's almost like there's very similar to how the tunnels of air connect all of the different skylands in Orin. Your breath and its breath are connected in a tunnel of air that kind of travels between the two of you. Um, Similar to how I'm also imagining, like from Harry Potter, like the third movie,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like when the Mentors
Oh,
kiss.
yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa,
similar
that's
to
sweet.
that, like the spirit or the soul or the like essence, the wind, the winnow of the Kieran and yours links together, and you can physically see this like this bluish tint to this magical air leave this creature's body and enter into yours, but there's a sharing and a mixing back and forth, and this creature's eyes open up, and there's kind of like a shock wave of power that ripples through the shrine, and this tree kind of shatters underneath you, and it crumbles and it falls, and you fall into the spring. But as you kind of stand back up, and you see that the Kirin has righted itself. Maybe, in fact, you land on top of the Kirin as well.
That
Would
would
you
be
like to be
sick.
riding on top of the Kirin? Yeah. So you land in the
A
water,
million
it rises
percent.
back up, and it's like you're on its shoulders, as it rises up out of the water.
And it's like, hey, Cusses, we've got something to tell you. And I don't say anything else.
So from here on out, you
I
will
did
be mounted.
Tyrion's voice instead of
Also,
Telemachus's. Oops.
with the way it's arranged on the screen, it almost looks like the branches of the tree are like wings sprouting out from the Kieran.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to fly one day, and that's so sick. Branch wings. That's so cool.
Yeah, maybe it still has like shards of this like tree kind of still poking out of it, but you have revived the Kirin for now. But the presence of the curse is still kind of tainting this place,
The
and
corpse.
the spring, the power here is not yet connected. It's the water technically or typically would be healing all of you all if it was working properly, but the curse is still present, so there is still something to be done here.
Tim, I'm burning my last spell slot, and I burned my second wind. Should I burn the guiding bolt that I have? Did that get consumed as well?
No,
Which
I'll
was
say a spell slot and a second wind is enough to me to
okay.
make that
Awesome.
connection. The spell
Hell
slot to
yeah.
make the connection, the second wing to kind of restore some of the health back to the
Awesome.
Kieran.
Thank you. That was very cool.
That was very cool.
All right, Moritaba.
So I know that Coakley has this cool idea in mind. Moritaba doesn't know that, but I imagine there was maybe some sort of facial change. I'd love to roll an insight to see if I can help Coakley do what Coakley is about to do.
Cool. Go ahead, make an insight check. And yeah, I don't know if I'd give you advantage on that just yet, because you guys don't know each other too well. So we'll do a flat roll.
15.
Okay, I feel like that's enough.
Ooh,
15 seems.
inter-party rapport hasn't been built yet enough.
Yeah.
We don't got the mind linking.
Just kind of understanding that Coakley has something cooking. You'll see that
What you cooking?
instead of going for like a damaging spear thrust, I'll like jab my spear behind this thing's knees and then like yank it back out and kind of slice its behind its knees a little and try and get it to like stumble and be off balance and hopefully give the help action to Coakley in whatever they do. And that'll be my turn.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, giving Coakley advantage on potentially its next attack against the Cursed Monkey. Got it. All right. Little monkey. He's still going after Jan. If he can actually hit it.
Oh, it's bound to happen.
Finally.
It was bound to happen.
Any amount of damage is enough, but we'll see how much it does. Does not need to make the saving throw. Jan is knocked unconscious once again.
Whoa.
Power blast.
However,
Hang on. I'll be right over to wake him up.
the bless does fall, but I'm kind of letting this kind of happen for story reasons. Technically, this would be Jan's final death saving throw as well. And so, right before Jan dies, he breathes into his hand. Golden flame or golden wind kind of emerges in his hand, and he kind of like tosses it over to Hyper Moby before he collapses down onto the ground.
I sort of just hold out my hand in horror that this man just was slain when I thought we could save him, and it just coalesces in my hand, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, I'll give him one last word. He says, "The boon from my aunt, the Windweaver. Use it well, Moby." And you take in your hand the divine sortilege of Odros the Windweaver.
Whoa.
Okay.
Feels like something to add to a character sheet.
Yeah.
So what does this do for
yeah.
me?
Yeah, I don't say anything. I think words aren't really meaningful right now, but I am fairly horrified that, I thought I sort of could control the outcome here and save him. I was wrong. This is all I have left of him. What does that mean for Jay's journey? What does that mean for us? So I just am kind of grasping this thing in confusion. Just holding it, and it's just a mote of golden wind kind of hurricaning in my hand.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll get some we'll get back to that when it's your turn, and give you some more information about it.
I'm a man and I was wrong.
Oakley, you are up.
It's very good that Coakley is very focused on this big monkey thing because I'm glad I didn't see Jan go down. I'm picturing where I'm supposed to be, and I think it's somewhere over. Oh, I can't click. Why can't I click? Here?
Okay.
Well, I was trying to remember where the thing told me to go.
The spot to go.
In like
To
this
your
general area. Somewhere where you're in this direction of the monkey. You know what I mean? You are on this side of it.
I got it.
This is-
I'll scoot one up and then lean into double Kieran space. And I will make my attack.
Kieran squared.
Kieran squared. I'll make my attack southward at the monkey with a big, just like a baseball bat swing.
You do so with advantage.
22, or I'll just roll another d20 really quick.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
I want a nat 20. No. So 22, and then the damage.
A lot of damage.
8 bludgeoning damage.
8 bludgeoning damage, and then you get the push aspect of this.
Oh.
So this creature is pushed
So
10
is that
feet.
how the owlbear works? Yeah, so I'm so fascinated if that's how the owlbear weapons are going to work, that if you listen to their guidance, you will benefit from a weapon mastery property for that attack. That's so fucking cool.
It is pushed 10 feet straight away from you.
Dude, push is
So-
crazy. There's just no saving throw.
Is it really
Yeah.
not?
There's no saving
There's
Nope.
none.
Yep, if it's large or smaller. The weapon extends and kind of gives this creature an extra push as you kind of slam into it, sending this monkey flying over the waterfall and plummeting down 20 feet.
Monkey.
Roll 2d6 for me.
Sure.
Dude, that's so sweet.
Sick.
Ocho bludgeoning.
So
On my
for a
next turn, I
total
want to guiding bolt
of
it,
16
and that's gonna be so
damage.
sweet. That's so helpful to move it.
16 damage. Is that right, Steve?
16 bludgeoning, yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How's he looking?
The monkey, as it lands in the water, does not get back up.
Oh, I wanted to.
The monkey has been slain.
Wow.
Whoa!
It lands
Hell
at the
fucking
bottom
yeah.
of the bottom section of the spring.
That was awesome. You guys marshaled
Tiny
the
monkey.
shit out of that.
Tiny monkey.
Actually, wait. Can I use the rest of my turn?
Yeah.
Because I do feel like Coakley would turn around to say something like, "Jan, this quarterstaff is wonderful that you." And I will immediately just run over and like flying jump kick 2 side kicks using my other focus point to bonus action 2 unarmed strikes against the mini monk.
Oh my god.
Nice.
A monk fighting a monkey.
Hell yeah.
First kick 23 to do 6 bludgeoning.
That definitely hits.
And second kick to do 10 bludgeoning with the nat 20.
Oh, another
What the
6.
Holy
fuck is
shit.
happening?
Coco's fucking pissed.
I haven't done damage today, you guys. You're crazy.
Holy shit. Yeah, Coakley is doing work.
Monkey.
I'll say that.
16 bludgeoning to the monkey.
Nothing worse than a soggy blueberry.
I can think of worse
Is
things.
that like getting interrupted by your husband
Of course.
20,000 times a day?
Okay, Cursed Monkey. Tiny Cursed Monkey gets kicked a bunch by Coakley. Imagine you kick it like in the back of the head or something like that.
Because I'm assuming he's like looming over Jan's recently.
Yeah.
Um,
It turns around and screeches at you, and it sees its dead ally, and it gets pissed too. Or so it's starting to look a little nervous. And it is bloodied. You see blood dripping from its mouth from those kicks it took. And okay, so in your mind, you you hear a voice again. No. Master. Protect Master? Kill monkey. And then you see it like just an image of like rage as you see like you kind of just over and over beating like this dead corpse of this monkey repeatedly, kind of turning it into like a bloody pulp on the ground. Yeah.
That's the end of my turn.
I have violent visions.
The intrusive thoughts win me over.
Yeah.
Moby.
Still just like befuddlement that I had seen this trajectory of how we were going to take a picture of the statues, how we were going to unveil Jay and Jeb to the world, the trajectory for this epic we were about to tell together. And then I'm just all looking at this hovering golden hurricane in my hand, and right on the other side of my hand down on the ground is Yeb's dead body. Do I get any sense of this thing's power, how to use it? My instinct is I'd like to make Jeb's last use of power, avenge him. So I'm like interested in consuming it, using it, utilizing its power benefit against the curse monkey right now. But I don't know if that's an instinct I can make useful.
The cursed dog in your lap is.
Yeah. I'm being attacked by Griff right now. So your intuitive sense is like, okay, with all things air related, you got to breathe it in, right? Like that's your intuitive sense. This golden air looks delicious. Consume it.
So yeah, usually there's this Vanta Black, or at least dark shadow steam kind of hovering around Moby when I do my mage armor, when I use my innate sorcery, and I'll say all of that fades. It's subdued and like suppressed for a moment as I deeply inhale this golden energy.
All right, as you breathe it in, you bring it into your winnow. You feel euphoric, right? Divine
good.
power surges through your body. Yes. And intuitively, you know how sortilege works now that you've consumed one. Sortileges are basically give you spell casting, but for like certain subset of spells. So for this sortilege, since it's a sortilege of Odros, the Windweaver, it gives you access to all to healing magic and wall magic, right? So it's not like abjuration or conjuration, it's like a style of spell. Any healing spell or any wall spell, right? Like but for since this is your first time breathing in this sortilege, you do not have the same power access as Jeb did. So you can choose to cast any third level healing or wall spell for free when utilizing a sortilege.
I'm having a thought, and I don't know if, yeah, Windwall is interesting, but I'm more thinking right now, I don't know if this is going to step on Diemto's narrative trajectories or anything like that, but like my instinct is right now, I just received this power that I kind of shouldn't have. Maybe Jeb will never have it again. But could he live without his power? And I will let this golden energy fill my lungs, and I will kneel down to him, and I will put my hand grasping the under bottom of his jaw, and I will exhale like I saw Telemachus do for me, but it's gold and radiant. And I will see if I don't, this is a little bit meta-knowledge-y, but like I want to channel the most potent healing opportunity I have access to potentially restore this man's life, even if he'll return to a life where he no longer has this power to his name. And I'm functionally wanting to potentially cast Revivify.
Yep.
But realistically, immersively, I'm just channeling the strongest healing magic I can to see if I can lift this man from unconsciousness or even the recent grips of death.
I feel like that's the best way to kind of like do it, is that like your character wouldn't know what spells he has access to, but you have like an intent and a purpose, and then we can match that to a specific cell.
Yeah.
So you can utilize this sortilege to cast Revivify. So yes, indeed, you cast Revivify then. And you want to describe it in any way, or is that just kind of like
kind of
breath
what I
to
just
breath
described
again?
is breath to breath again. That's been a theme of this environment and this encounter, but it's just gold, and hopefully I can see it filter into his mouth and hopefully see his chest rise with it.
You do indeed. And his chest revives because he has been dead less than a minute, and his body is brought back to life. You see he's still laying on the ground, but his chest breathes in air once again. He kind of gasps. His eyes open up once again, and he looks up at you, Hypermob, and he nods his thanks.
And I just turn to face the monkey and I yell, "Everyone, slay it right now!" Just knowing that we might not have another chance to do what I just did.
Yeah, when you cast that, when you utilize the sortilege, that kind of euphoric sense of bliss kind of leaves you as it all gets channeled into that magic spell that you cast.
That'll be it for my turn.
Jan's turn. Jan.
Can I have my staff back now? Now that I'm not dead.
Jan will kind of just sit up and face the monkey, kind of desperately holding his hands up, coming back to life once more. He's kind of doesn't have his senses about him. First monkey is dead. Telemachus, you are up. Riding on top of the Kieran.
If
We'll count
I
it
don't
as a
remember the
controlled
rules.
mount now.
Fabulous. I looking at the dead big one, like kind of like teary-eyed at like the with joy that this Kieran has come back from the brink. I see the smaller little synthetic fucker, I think I called him, and I want to channel that guiding bolt that I was mentioning that I haven't used, and I want to so I think at this point there's just like that arc, that kind of like radiant arcane fire is around, and I think
Mhm.
I'd like pull my hands back, and I would yell like I'm totally gonna steal Boost Roda, and I hurl a guiding bolt from my hands, and I think that as it like is up past there, like my antlers are like bristling with that same fire energy, and then I hurl the guiding bolt at the little monkey.
Make your attack.
It's not an advantage because it has people near it, is it? I don't remember. Okay.
No, not for
Um,
ranged attacks.
that's just rogue specifically, isn't it?
For sneak attack, yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf only a 14.
14 does hit.
Let's go.
Oh,
Beats it.
I don't know.
Wow.
4D. Oh my god, that's the second meet to beat to the session. The first one fucked me.
You fucker.
Okay, 12 plus 3 is 15 radiant damage.
Okay. The spell blasts it on the side, taking a big chunk out of its flesh. Monkey's not looking good.
And then I'll kind of goad the Kieran forward if I can to like, does Kieran have movement? Can we get to the other side of the monkey to make sure it can't escape this way? Like, can we leap over the fight and get on that side?
Yeah, Kieran springs into action. Breath connected to breath. It can kind of intuitively understand what you're asking it to do. And so, I'm gonna flip you guys. Oh, whoops. Hold on a second.
I'm imagining the Avatar thing of like where their hair braids meld, but you guys are breath melded right now.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Hop, and you get a running start, and you hop over to the other side. No, I gotta flip you.
And I
again.
do, at this point, pull both my blades out and ready to strike.
Okay. You get onto
Oh,
the stairs.
Yeah.
Kind of blocking off its escape route this way.
And then it's just
Mortava.
steeped in that same fire energy that Moby's about to utilize. Maury's about to utilize.
Mortava, this monkey is not looking great at all.
Morikawa spins after having helped Coakley handle the big monkey. Takes a step here, and you just see him just fucking wind up like a motherfucker. And with the Tempestus spear and a true strike, I just almost like a lightning bolt. I hope to just cut a hole in this thing.
Going for attack or damage for your +1?
+1, I say, since I have advantage from Guiding Bolt, I'll take the damage.
Okay.
So let's.
Oh, the guiding bolt is clutch. I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah.
Here, 16 to hit.
16 hits.
I'm gonna re-roll that per Savage Attacker. Not better. So 5 radiant damage.
5 is enough to kill this creature. How do you slay the small, tiny little monkey?
Yeah, I think like the combination of my own wind magic and the tempestuous energy of the spear, like I think it like goes through the monkey and like blows kind of like a crater in it, and I'm probably gonna have to go fetch my spear.
Nice. It had 3 health, so it was almost dead, but a giant hole is punctured through this monkey's. I don't know, where do you aim? Its head, its body?
Whatever shoulder it used to claw at Jeb, it just hits there
Yeah.
and the arm just separates.
Arm goes flying. It's so much force that like its head is almost like half cut off. It's like nearly headless Nick right now. And it falls down
Yes.
to the ground, defeated.
Ooh! Dun, 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 dun. Wait, we can do better.
Oh,
How do you do that thing?
yeah,
Oh my god. Golden mode of wind. Sortilege.
Hell yeah.
Monkey slain. Jan, seated. He's not gonna get up right away. He's kind of catching his breath. Jay casually walks over. Not saying anything. Staying kind of in the background. The Kieran, however, will kind of like kneel to let you off, Telemachus.
Yeah, I'll slide off, not wanting to be offensive.
And it'll like turn to face
Thanks for the
you
ride.
without saying anything. It'll kind of bow its head in your direction. And then it'll walk majestically back to the spring. And as it does so, as it enters into the pool, its body kind of liquefies. And slowly it kind of just dissolves and becomes one with the water.
What did the
And
Kieran? Can you tell me what the
slowly-
Kieran like looked like up close?
Yeah, I can give you this.
Like I want to know like what did its face look like? As it was like because I would bow back and I just like I want your take on its face up close.
It's like facial expression, very like serious, stern, stoic looking. More so, you know, like honor, respect, reverence for your assistance. Acknowledging you kind of saving it from, and all of you kind of as well, from the curse that was inflicting this place. And slowly, the water where it kind of entered into the spring slowly starts to bubble. That kind of like bubble flame that I've mentioned before. Kind of like fire, except for made out of bubbles. They like kind of like the surface almost looks like a hot spring. Once again, it starts to bubble and spread about, and as it does, the blood that was in the water starts to dissolve away. The dead tree kind of starts to dissolve. The surrounding kind of plants begin to look healthier, and slowly over time it starts to look like the illusion that we saw originally when you guys first entered into this location. The spring is once again looking pristine, beautiful, like a place worthy of reverence. You guys back to where
Whoa.
you were. Jay was here.
Jan, how might I return to you the blessing you instilled in me?
Jan reaches his hand up. He's on the ground, seated. An offer to help him get to his feet.
I do.
As he like pull him up, he pulls in to an embrace, kind of pats you on the back as he gives you a big hug. He is a little bit shorter than you, but He separates and he says, thank you for saving my life. I'd hoped you would use that sortilege to save me, and indeed you did. But you could have used it for a great many different spells, to bolster your own power, to save it, to store it, save it for later, but you used it to resurrect me, and so I thank you. But that magic is spent now. However, a part of it will remain within you, and it will regrow with time. If you foster that magic, that sortilege that now lives within you, eventually you will be able to use it again. It is yours, Moby. It is no longer mine.
Then I have you to thank, as well as the Wind Weaver.
My aunt, yes. She is the one that has gifted me this sortilege, but, as I said, it now passes to you. She will watch over you in your journey. That is a sortilege of healing, of defensive magic. Use it to protect your allies and your friends. As you did, use it to protect me.
I will do so. Now about those words we promised we'd have.
Yes,
Everyone,
indeed.
I would request that you all indulge me in a story, but I can't tell that story here. Once we are done with this place, we must away back to the Quarry of Kings. And I will grant you all the information you have earned.
But first, says Jan, I believe I will need a dip in the spring. We'll need to breathe its air and feel its healing warmth. Come, all of us should do so. The spring, you took any injuries, any wounds, any damage in that battle against that curse. The spring will heal you.
Yeah, Telemachus is like literally unhurt, but is like pulling off half his gear, ready to dive into this spring because he wants to bathe in it now that it's pure.
So yeah, you can head on into the water, and again, as you kind of feel the bubble flame, I describe it. It feels warm. It's like a hot springs, right? It feels warm, but in a magical sense, it also will knit wounds. So any injuries that you have suffered in this battle, scrapes, cuts, bruises, anything like that, will slowly start to mend as you let the water kind of wash over you. And so Jan will also kind of strip down to his undergarments, and he'll kind of wade out into the water. He's kind of hobbling. He's got like claw marks, like a bite mark here, a slash mark across his face from the monkey from the last hit that he received. And he enters into the pool and begins to swim about. Jay will also come on up and join you all, though he will not remove any of his clothing. Instead, he will just kind of wade into the water a little bit separate from everyone else. And you see him breathing in the air, a very similar kind of experience that we saw between Telemachus and the Kirin and Jay and Moby, a linking of his winnow to that of the springs.
Sweet.
It's probably a good place to end for this time. Since we did want to have kind of a conversation about next steps and where to go from here, we can always pick back up here in the spring, kind of have a little conversation with Jay and Jan next time, decide what to do as a group, head back to the Quarry of the Kings, back to Selkirk, and then plan out how you would like to perform the ritual of effervescence the next day.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm all for that.
Telemachus. Actually, I'm gonna have to give it to everybody. One additional point of heroic inspiration for rescuing the Kirin, saving the spring, rescuing Jan as well.
Hell yeah.
So anybody that used theirs up, you regain it for next time.
Is it like you can only have one at the end of a session, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't stack, and I think the rules suggest that if you get one when you already have one, give it to another fellow player that doesn't have one. But if we're all getting it, we all get it.
Was that just
Everybody
like a
gets-
home Eridon rule that you could stack player inspo?
Yeah, I think it's also I don't have a whole lot of references for past history with other DMs or even Critical Role or other sources where like people are banking inspirations. I just was letting you guys. That was always
Yeah.
my goal. I think Tim might have even started that in previous campaigns, maybe. So
Oh,
Yep. This
Got
time we're just gonna do for this campaign. It's gonna be you. If you have
Get
it,
one.
you can use it. You can store it
Yeah.
for later sessions, but if you get a second one, you have to use it that session or it goes away.
that's
Or if
okay.
you already have one and then you guys do something heroic and you get it at the end of a session, then it's kind of wasted. So it's kind of an incentive to use it each turn or
Heck yeah.
each session.
That super awesome session. Yeah, I also did want to give a shout out to Telemachus / MJ for I'm always a big fan of and honestly Moritaba too for your sprint leap, but especially Telemachus of like, hey, I've got this thing I want to try. I'm willing to use this resource, and this resource. Usually they combine to make a cupcake, but I think I want to try to use those ingredients to make this thing. Can it work? Like I love that.
Thank you. I was having a lot of fun. Like, it's like doing like I liked using the flavor of it all, and it was a fun way to stick with it. Like, I didn't need it to be a regular sword swinger. I was like, let's try something fun. So thanks for the flexibility and the playfulness with it.
Of course, it's my favorite stuff. And you guys got to see what sortileges do, which I was happy about.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Time.
That's such a cool one. I liked the idea. Like, it's not like Moby. Yeah, Moby is anti-heal or anti-defense, but it is like a fun like it kind of was a cool theme for the session. Like you started out with that look at Telemachus, like, whoa, someone unexpectedly helped me when I wasn't expecting it. And then that whole scene happened, and then it was a cool like having him frame it like that is like it's of defense and protection is like interesting. And it's not something that like Jiri's spell kit or Hyperivel's spell kit is usually focused towards. So like narratively that's really juicy.
Yeah, so there'll be others out there in the world during this campaign for the other. So like each of the deities or the jinn have their own kind of subset of spells, and so its power grows over time as well. So like eventually, maybe down the line, you could cast up to like a 9th level spell using a sortilege. But it has to fit the theme of the spells that
Gregory
it's like.
Fate.
Yeah.
Super.
So there could be one for like all electric spells, right? Or like that's kind of what I've
That's
always
sweet.
imagined like Jiri's was, right? Like he had a sortilege of Adras, so it was like all the like lightning and thunder spells get access to.
That's sick. Super cool.
And